Hi everyone, welcome to my predictions and preview for the next Miss Universe taking place in 1 week. So, I want to start by saying that this year it's going to be in Las Vegas. It's on the 26th, which is just a couple days after Thanksgiving. So, they moved it from January to November again this time. So, I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that. It's sneaking up on everybody, including me, but I've been doing my research. I've been reviewing the tapes, so to speak, or the videos, and I've been getting my list ready. So let's get started. I want to say right off the bat that I haven't seen the preliminary competition yet. That's still to come this week. Haven't seen even the national costume. So I will be hopefully doing another video just like a day or two before the pageant with my final predictions. But these are my predictions 1 week out. So I'm going to go with a top 15, even though they may not do that on the pageant. That's okay. This is my top 15. And as I've said in the past, the judges may not agree with me, but I am also a judge. I have judged pageants for years, so this is my educated guesses from what I know. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down to the potential winner. So first of all, in the top 10 through 15 or 11 through 15, I have placed Miss Australia, who kind of like last year, she's okay. She's definitely a top contender, but to me, she's not in the top 10. So I would put her towards the bottom of the top 15, but one of those last few spots. And then I would also have Miss Jamaica in there. Now, I think last year Miss Jamaica was on my list as well, so they're having a good run. I would place her in that top 15 in those last few spots. Of course, keep in mind when I say that anybody can do better if they perform well that night, and of course if they get into the top, whatever it is, 13, 12, whatever they're going to do this year. And I would add Peru. So those would be my sort of bottom three of the 15. So Miss Peru, I've seen a lot of her lately, and I think she is good, but I just don't know that she's good enough to get into the top 10. We'll have to see. I mean, so much of this will be based on the preliminary competition. Also, I want to list Miss Jamaica in that group of those five. She was good, very good last year as well, or last January, I should say. But I don't think she's quite as strong this time, but we'll see. And the last one, and this one might be kind of surprising, but I have Miss Mexico right on the bubble of the top 10. Now, you might be surprised by that, but the reason I say that is because as I watch her on video over and over, my opinion of her has gone down. She has kind of a different face that I'm not as fond of as a lot of the other ladies. And also, I don't know, I'm just not liking her as much as I was in the beginning. So I've got her on the edge of the top 10, so like maybe spot number 11. So if there is a top 12 or 13, like last year there was 13, then I think she will get in, and then, we'll see what happens. But right now, that's where I have her. Now let's talk about number 6 through 10. And these are not in a particular order, but they're, just in that group. So first of all, you have Germany. Now, I have not seen Miss Germany on a lot of people's lists or predictions. A few, I've seen her on a few, and I really think she has a lot of potential this year. Now, I don't say that about Miss Germany that often, but this year I think she is in a stronger position than usual. Also, I would put Miss Indonesia in that group. So Indonesia, she's kind of one that she could sneak up. She could be in the top 5 or 6. But right now I have her in that middle group. I'm impressed with her, and Indonesia has done well in the last, I believe, 4 or so pageants they've placed. So this would be another one. But yeah, I definitely think she has strong potential to be in this group here. Now, the next one or two may be surprising. So first of all, Thailand. Now, I mentioned Thailand in my last review, or actually preview, for the pageant in January, and she did pretty well. But, this one, some people are really thinking she's going to be up towards the top. I'm not so sure right now. Again, we'll see what happens. But right now, I have her in the middle of the pack of 15. So, and then we come to probably what's going to be a controversial one, and that's Miss USA. She is strong, but I don't know compared to some of these other ladies, she's going to place higher than about 6 or maybe 7. But anyway, Miss USA, I really like her, Kara, who's from Washington, D.C., and is a very smart lady, but against very strong competition. So then that leaves me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ladies left. I missed mentioning Miss France. Miss France, of course, France won last January, and I was very surprised. She was not in my pick. I have to be honest and say that. But again, the judges have a different opinion than this judge. And Miss France, this year I actually like better than the one that won last year, so that's saying a lot. But I would put her in about, fifth or sixth, or not fifth, I'm sorry, sixth or seventh position, kind of right there with Miss USA. In fact, they remind me of each other slightly. So I would put her right in that same area. Okay, so that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. Yeah, 5 ladies. Now this is be my top 5. So let me just mention the names in no particular order, and then we'll go back and talk about them. So Colombia, Venezuela, South Africa, Russia, and Philippines. So those are my top 5 right now. And here's what I would say is, honestly, I would put Philippines towards the latter part of that, so maybe right around number 5. She could surprise me and do better, but that's just from my initial impressions, keep in mind. So yeah, I would put her at number 5, but she's really close to Miss Venezuela, I think. They're neck and neck. So Venezuela and Philippines would be that right there together in 4th and 5th, with Venezuela right now just slightly above Philippines. Then we come to the last 3, and this is really tight. It's a very strong group. The final 3, in my opinion, will be Colombia, Russia, and South Africa. So, all of them are very strong, or else they would not be in my top 3 and in other people's top few. But let's talk about what order I think that's going to be. So, it's really hard to say because they are all so good, and I kind of go back and forth. But right now, I put South Africa as the second runner-up or 3rd place. And again, very strong. All of these ladies could win it. I think all of the top 5 could win it. But these are the most likely, I believe. So South Africa would be the 3rd. Now, she is a white person, but she's very beautiful and very... I believe she is a model, if I'm not mistaken, and she certainly comes across as one. And she just has a regalness to her that I like. So anyway, I would put her at number 3 right now. So that leaves Colombia and Russia as the final 2 on my list. And I have to say that I do believe at this point that Miss Russia is going to win the Miss Universe pageant. Now, I will revisit that after the preliminary competition, but that is my current feeling on it. So that would put Miss Columbia as the first runner-up. Now, I believe we've had her as the first runner-up recently, haven't we? So that would be another one. But she could move up and take that top spot too. So, again, these are my feelings a week out. It really will so much depend on that preliminary competition and how I feel after that. So I will be coming back, as I said, and updating and doing another video with these. But, last year there was about 17 or 18 that I was trying to whittle down. I didn't have as much of a hard time this year or this time. These 15 that I mentioned are pretty strong. But I will mention just a couple others that I feel are outside the 15 but on the bubble. So one is Iceland. Now, of course, Iceland doesn't usually do much in the Miss Universe pageant. I mean, occasionally. But I think Iceland is strong this year. I would also mention Canada. Now, Canada was kind of in a bit of controversy last year, but did make the top 15 or 13, and I thought was wonderful overall. Um, India is usually strong, but not as strong this year, but still, right outside that 15, probably in the top 20. And lastly, I would mention Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has a strong contestant most years, or contestant, I mean, most years, but this year I don't think she's as strong. I do think she's still a great contender, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, those are a few that are outside the top 15, but that I wanted to mention. So again, that was Iceland, uh, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Those are the ones that I think are, and also India I would put in there, like I said. So really those four. So I have about the 19, but I don't have as much ambiguity this time as I did last time. I think honestly last year's or last January's group was slightly stronger group overall than this one, but that doesn't mean this isn't a great group. So anyway, these are my top 15. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then come back and see me probably Friday of this week. And I'll have my final predictions for this year's Miss Universe. Take care, everybody.